Hey everybody, Marcus Crawford here, or Idaho Sledhead as I'm known on my YouTube channel. We're going to try something a little different today. What do you see here? Well, I've got the Hubsan Zino in one hand, and I have the DJI Mavic 2 Zoom in the other. Now, today we're going to do something that I've always told people not to do, and that's compare these two drones. The reason I decided to make this video is because I've been spending a lot of time with the Zino and on the forums and so forth, and inevitably people are always trying to compare the features on this with the Mavic, which is not really a fair comparison, as we all know. Let me say at the outset, I flippin' love both these drones. They are both amazing pieces of technology. The Mavic 2, my gosh, the things you can do with that and the way it flies and everything that goes with it, it is an amazing drone. Although it's more expensive, and I understand why people are looking for less expensive alternatives. So I paid $1,250 for this drone. Then the little Zino, I paid $299 for this drone. So I could have bought 4 of these for what I paid for this. The technology in this Mavic is freaking amazing. It has optical sensors, 360-degree optical sensors, has all sorts of automated features, etc. Has an amazing 4K camera with an optical zoom feature as well as a digital zoom feature, and then of course everything that DJI builds into the DJI Go 4 app. It has, like I said, with those sensors, it has obstacle avoidance. When you have obstacle avoidance on, it's not going to let you run into anything. If you turn on APAS, it will actually go around an object automatically. None of that is on the Zino, nor would you expect it to be for the price point. So all of those things taken into consideration, I want to put them up, and for the most part what we're going to do in this video is compare the video quality. I guess I just thought of one more thing, range-wise. I've taken this thing out to almost 1 kilometer before it lost connection. This has an advertised range of 8 kilometers with OcuSync 2. I gotta be honest with you, I've never tried to take it out to its a full range, and you know what, I never will. I don't honestly see any point in flying a drone that far. And really, when you're out 1 kilometer like you are with this one, it is well out of line of sight. So, you know, that's probably it's as far as you want to go. Let me put it to you that way. So that said, we'll try them one at a time, and I will do screen recordings on my iPhone so you can see what I'm videoing, and we'll use 4K video on both of them. We'll send them both to 4K video, and you know, we can look at the difference. And obviously you're not going to expect this one to have the same performance as this one. This little Zino is not going to have the optical quality that you're going to find with the Mavic. There again, you get back to price. You can buy 4 of these for what you pay for this one. I guess at this point, that's enough talking. Let's get them up in the air and take a little video. And like I said, I'll do a screen recording with my iPhone so that you can see the apps and the controls on the apps. Test 1 2, test 1 2. Okie dokie. I've got the Hubsan Zino ready to go, all connected up. Right but as I was booting up the app, it asked me if I wanted to update to a new version of the app, so I did. So there may be some things on this app that that I haven't seen before. But anyway, it's, oh, and I should add that the drone itself has all the latest firmware upgrades as well. So all of that said, I'm going to do an auto takeoff. Let's get it in the air. So hopefully you can see that on camera. It did the usual Hubsan sync on auto takeoff. That is one of the things that this little drone does. It seems like it drops about a foot when you do an auto takeoff. So, you know, for the most part, yeah, you can take off manually, or if you're launching it from your hand, you're going to use the auto takeoff, but always keep that in mind. So I'm going to go into video settings here. Whoop, I need to switch it to video. Sorry about that. So we're in video mode. We are going to go to, looks like it's already in 4K resolution at 30 frames per second. White balance is automatic. Color is ordinary. So in any case, let's start the video. Video is started. We've got 15 satellites. Let's go fly. I'm going to fly roughly northwest from where I'm at here, away from the sun. We'll do the same thing with the Mavic, and we'll compare them. So one thing you notice there, that was kind of an abrupt turn. This drone, yeah, and I evidently don't have it limited to height because I went a little higher than legal, so I'm dropping it back down here to 120 meters. So evidently I didn't set that height limit. In any case, let's head northwest here, and maybe we'll take a little video. Well, you know what? Before I do that, I'm going to do a quick yaw, a little yaw around. I'll see with the controls if I can do it slowly. Well, not really. That's one of the big complaints about the controls on this thing, is it's really tough to do. That yaw is really touchy. Yeah, in fact, yeah, I had a little disconnect there for whatever reason. When I was doing that yaw, we had a slight disconnect. Haven't had those problems in quite some time, so I don't know what that's about. But anyway, we'll head out and see. So I've got the stick full forward. I don't know, we'll go out about 400 or 500 meters as long as I maintain a good connection. There again, we get a little of that notorious Hubsan yaw. It does not, often the aircraft does not go nose first. So we're out 400 meters. There's 500 meters, a little over 500 meters, 520 meters. So I'm gonna see if I can go into It looks like it's kind of, the aircraft is yawing right now, and I'm not touching the controls, but let's go into automated flight modes and see if we can do a creative video. A panorama shot, they call it, which is basically a 360 degree yaw around. It's already set at 360. I'm going to move the speed up to kind of the middle portion there, whatever that's equal to, and we're going to click go. So that's pretty quick. So it stopped. So now I'm going to do a return to home, and the Mavic has precision landing built into it, and this is not quite there. I just had a disconnect. Yeah, aircraft. Yeah, it's in GPS hold mode still. I'm going to hit return to home. I don't like that. So return to home to takeoff point, and here it comes. So that disconnect is a little bit disconcerting. This is not the Zino that I usually fly. I have two of them, and this one I haven't flown it much. I can safely tell you with the other ones, I kind of got past those disconnect issues. So, and by the way, it's coming back at that max altitude too. One of the things that I'm hoping they'll change is return to home altitude. Yeah, so it's right above me, and I got a couple more disconnects there. So I got the camera pointed straight down, and it's coming down. We can see how accurate it is. It's going to be, it looks like fairly close. It's no more than 6 or 8 feet away, and this is pretty close to that. Chopped up a few leaves there on landing, but yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, so I just noticed that the camera was off there, so I'm sure it shut it off when I did that panorama mode. So we probably didn't get any video on the flight back, so I'm going to try one more flight out there and back again. There again, you can see we're at 100%. Okay, that's 500 meters, over 500 meters. Let's bring it home. And by the way, no disconnections there. So I set RTH. Let's see how close it gets to the to its takeoff position here. So once it gets closer here, we'll drop the camera. We're about 70 meters away. I can hear the drone. We're at about 40 meters now, roughly. So this is interesting. I saw the drone adjusting right there at the very end, adjusting its landing position. So that's good. So yeah, it's going to be within a few feet here. Okay, you saw it. That wasn't as graceful as it could be, but I'll put that down to the fact that it landed in the grass, and probably it was probably not sure it was on the ground. So as you can see, it seemed like it hit a little bit hard there. But anyway, that is the Hubsan Zino. Let's get the Mavic up in the air, and we'll fly out essentially the same location. Yeah, we definitely chopped up a little grass there on the landing, but the Hubsan's in good shape, the little Zino. Okay, we'll take off in the Mavic now. One of the things that's apparent to me as I'm getting ready to fly here is how much easier it is to get this thing going. You basically just fire up the drone, fire up the controller, fire up the app, and you're ready to go in just a few seconds. It's telling me it doesn't need a compass calibration. All the settings look good, so everything's saying normal here. Vision sensors, everything. Give me a little safety tip about the 360 vision. You can see I'm not at full battery, so let me check the video settings. Yeah, so we're at 4K 30 in MP4. Everything's in automatic, so that's good. So let's start video. So the video started. Let's do an auto takeoff and get it in the air. I've been flying the Zino so much, I'm kind of taking a couple second glances at the app here because I haven't flown it in a while. But anyway, here we go. So we're close enough to the camera here that that's the obstacle avoidance system that's telling us that. But you saw how smooth that takeoff was in comparison, and it's telling me that I have an obstacle. So I'm going to move it forward here. So we're out of that. So I'm going to go up, take it to the same height that we had the Zino at, and we'll be able to compare the video. And the other thing is, you notice how fast the Zino climbs and gets up to height. I only had about 60% battery, so we're going to use up this battery pretty quick, I believe. Okay, there we are, and of course it stopped before I got to max height here, and I'm going to do a quick pan around with this thing and try and do a slow pan. As you saw, I had difficulty doing that with the Zino. The controls are they're just a velvet touch compared to the little Zino, and it's amazing. It reminds me why I like flying this drone. Okay, let's speed up this pan just a little. And there again, it's so easy to control. I freaking love it. Okay, and that's the direction. That's roughly the direction we flew the Zino. So let's see. I need to, I guess roughly 1,600 feet is going to be roughly 500 meters if my math is correct. So full stick forward. Boy, this thing just flies straight and true. We're at about 800 feet, 900 feet, flying at almost 30 miles an hour. Well, there we go, a little over 1,600 feet. So that's going to be roughly the same as the 500 meters we had the Zino at. So so let's turn around here. Well, I'm going to do a quick pan around here. I believe I did that with the Zino as well. I put it in auto mode on the Zino, their automatic mode. This thing is so smooth and so easy to control. It's just an absolute pleasure. Yeah, looks like we got a little news there on the screen. Okay, let's do a return home. I'm going to do a return to home just like I did with the Zino, and I'm quite sure this will be very accurate. Got gloves on, so here she comes. And the other thing that I noticed is how it's just pointed straight home. I mean, the nose of the drone is going exactly the direction of the drone, and the camera is pointed exactly the direction the drone is going. As soon as we get above us, I'm going to drop the camera here again. One thing about the Mavic is that it will automatically pick that camera back up, point the camera back up as it lands. So that's where those, yeah, so it says it's within a foot of its landing spot. I see it's turning around to get in the same orientation. It has optical sensors. Once it gets to the ground, it's going to look for the same spot that it took off from. By the way, you'll notice on the screen there that it turns off object avoidance as when it's in return to home too. You can see that red at the top there, next to the satellite, there at the very top of the screen. So I'm going to get out of the way so you can see this. So it's coming down. It's a little bit off, but it'll get down to a point that it'll adjust. It'll look. Well, we mowed the grass with the Mavic as well. That is honestly not much further off than the Zino was. I can tell you from experience, typically it will land right on that takeoff spot there, but it didn't this time, so that's good to see that DJI is not perfect either. Okay, let's try that landing one more time. I'm in my second battery and it's giving me a low battery warning, so I'm going to hit return to home. I need to back it off here a little, I think. Okay, the aircraft is ascending and it is coming down. I didn't do a screen recording here so you can't see it, but we're down to about 18% battery. It says about 4 minutes flight time left. Well, it looks a lot closer this time. One of the things I didn't do on that last landing, when I took off, you're supposed to take it up about, see, look at that one's right on the money. So one of the things that they tell you to do to achieve a precision landing is when you take off, ascend to about 20 feet or so to give it a good look at its landing site. And as I recall, I didn't do that on that first takeoff. Neither here nor there. But anyway, I'm going to shut her down. Okay, so we took both the Hubsan Zino and the Mavic 2 Zoom up today, flew them basically on the same vector, primarily to compare video quality. But the other thing that I'm sure you noticed is the flight controls, how much easier it was to control the Mavic than the Zino. The flight controls on the Mavic are just like butter. They're so precise. And it's so easy to fly. I think, you know, somebody that's never flown a drone before could put this Mavic up in the air and they could fly it, I think, without much grief. And, you know, honestly, I can probably say the same thing about the Zino. The controls, my big objection to this is the controls are really sensitive, particularly the yaw control. It's difficult to get it smooth and at how you want to do. Hopefully that's something that Hubsan will improve with further firmware upgrades. But we get back to the old price benefit, you know. So what I'm going to say is, boy, I can highly recommend both of these products. The Zino, I paid $299 for it because I bought it on their Indiegogo campaign. It's now $369 on their website, and I'll put a link to that down below. So if you're looking to buy one, I found the cheapest is to buy it direct from Hubsan. I looked on some of the other Chinese websites, Banggood, some of those others, and they really have jacked the price up on this thing. Many of them over $400 or right around $400. It's $369 on Hubsan's website. But I guess the fact remains that, and I've said it 100 times and I'll say it again, I could buy 4 of these for one of these. Now, all of that said, as much as I enjoy flying this drone and I like it, it just absolutely is a toy compared to the Mavic. The Mavic 2 is just such a pleasure to fly. It's easy, it's smooth. All the automated flight modes work perfectly. Everything about it is perfect. There's no such thing as a disconnect. There's no issues with it whatsoever. Everything just works, and that's worth something. So, if you can afford it, and you know, even if you're a beginner, if you can afford it, I'm going to tell you to buy this Mavic. Or even the original Mavic for that matter, because it's going to be somewhat similar, just not with all the same automated flight modes and not all the 360-degree obstacle avoidance that this has. So again, with this, I am also an affiliate for DJI, so I will put a link down below to buy one of these from DJI. Both of those links help support my channel, so if you're going to buy one anyway, I'd appreciate it if you use those links. But honestly, whatever you do, however you get one, do what you need to do. I'm going to say this: I have seen this Mavic on sale occasionally for like $1,100. I think one of the Chinese websites had a pretty good discount on it the other day. I think there's probably, you might be able to get this for less than what DJI advertises it for on their website. One of the things that DJI offers that I really like is DJI Refresh. It costs you a few bucks. If you ever crash this thing, whether it's your fault, their fault, they don't care. You can send it back to them, and for 80 bucks they'll send you a brand new drone. So that to me is worth it. And I got a little Osmo Pocket, and I always buy Refresh now from DJI. I think it's cheap insurance, and that's in addition to their regular warranty. So it'd be cool if Hubsan offered something like that. But you also have to take into consideration, Hubsan is just a much smaller company. I'm sure they probably have about a tenth of the employees that DJI has, or less. I mean, I don't know. But that's a good thing, that insurance policy. So let's see, what else can I think of? So I may be repeating myself a little bit, but in terms of capability, obviously you can fly this one a lot further than you can fly this one, 8 kilometers as opposed to 1 kilometer. This is a Wi-Fi drone. This operates on OcuSync too, so you have much better connection. The zoom feature on this is just amazing, and the automated flight modes, dolly zoom, all those other things are pretty cool. So I know Hubsan has got some other stuff coming out that they're going to add to this, droney and some other things. So that's great. And if what you can afford is this, buy it. But if you've got enough money for this, buy it. And to end the video here, I'm going to throw up a couple of the automated flight modes that I did with this. We've got a helix and an asteroid that we'll throw up here to end the video. And as usual, this is Marcus Crawford, or Idaho Sledhead as I'm known on my YouTube channel, out. And if you like this content, please consider subscribing to my channel. And again, thank you very much for taking the time to look at my video. We'll see you on the next one.